All right, buddy. Well, thanks a lot. Tell Pam and the kids we said hi, and look forward to seeing you soon. Man.
All right, man.
Oh, okay, there you go. See you later.
Take care.
All right,
Thanks, Al.
Take it
Bye-bye.
easy, buddy.
I was going to say, he didn't even say goodbye, just kind of hung up, and that was it.
That wouldn't be like Al.
No, not at all. That I was a little bit worried.
He's confused. He's taking a lot of bumps, and probably one of the greyhounds are out running the neighborhood.
Well, I think you scared him with your animal crackers. You're
Well,
scaring me with your animal
I
crackers.
kind of like them, and the broke ones are really astounding.
A little rough around the edges?
Yeah, they
Kinda
are.
like
They're
that.
really cool. What do we got, a brake jobber?
Let's go to a break. You are
Let's do
listening to the Tag Team Champions of Talk Radio, Marty Adams, Shawn Stidham, the Wrestling Guys.
On WBKI Buckeye Country 106.5. We'll be right back, Dayton.
This is Joe Recker at North Shore Pontiac Buick Cadillac, 218 South Walnut Street in Salina. We got it! 2000 model closeout going on right now. The biggest savings of the year. 2000 Pontiac Montanas, save $47.55. 2000 Pontiac Grand Am GTs, save $33.77. 2000 Pontiac Grand Prix GTs, save $4,015. 2000 Pontiac Bonnevilles, save $36.79. And remember, at North Shore Pontiac Buick Cadillac, free oil, free loaner, and free pickup and delivery as long as you own your North Shore vehicle. Service, savings, selection, and commitment to excellence only at North Shore Pontiac Buick Cadillac in Salina.
Are your debts threatening your peace of mind? Here are the danger signs. If you borrow from one credit card to pay off another. If you're maxed out on 2 or more cards. If you can only afford to make the minimum monthly payment. But now there's a nonprofit organization that can help you reduce your debt load and get caught up again. It's called AmeriDebt. Call them at 1-800-262-4800. AmeriDebt can help you reduce your monthly payments as much as 50%. They'll negotiate with your creditors for you, eliminating or reducing your interest rates. And they'll consolidate your bills into one lower monthly payment. Even if you're not a homeowner, even if you're way behind, AmeriDebt can help. If you have more than $2,000 in debt, call AmeriDebt now for a free debt consultation. 1-800-262-4800. It's completely confidential, and there's no obligation. If you've noticed the debt danger signs, or if you're just tired of worrying about your bills, there's help waiting. Call AmeriDebt now. 1-800-262-4800.
This is attorney Doug Mann from Dyer, Garofalo, Mann & Schultz. If you've been in an accident, wrestling with an insurance adjuster can be pretty tricky.
In this one up, innocent victim.
It's his first time in the ring. He looks like he could use some help.
And in this one up, the unfair insurance claims adjuster.
No case, no pay. He means business.
I need help.
If you've been injured, you need a tiger on your side. Put Dyer, Garofalo, Mann & Schultz in your corner.
Okay, that number's 1-800-INJURED.
Our team of tough, smart attorneys will work hard to get you maximum cash in minimum time. Call 1-800-INJURED today.
I've got the tiger on my side.
Okay, I'll settle the case. The Dyer, Garofalo, Mann & Schultz Tiger wins again.
Dyer, Garofalo, Mann & Schultz. Put the tiger on your side. Call 1-800-INJURED.
This is Buckeye Country 106.5 WPKI.
Smell what the Rock is cooking.
Hey, welcome back to the Wrestling Guys, brought to you by Dyer, Garofalo, Mann & Schultz. The accident attorneys. If you've been dropped on your head one too many times like Al Snow, then you can give them a call at 1-800-INJURED. They'll be there for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Free initial consultation, and yes, they do have an office in Lima.
God bless it. OneWrestling.com just mentioning that the Fleet Center show for the World Wrestling Federation, October 30th in Boston, they are advertising the return of the McMahons and Stone Cold Steve Austin for that show. So.
Yeah, and every time they advertise, they have to be there.
Well, no, but it's, Fleet Center's normally a big place for WWF. They usually pack that show. If it's not a TV taping, they usually pack it because it is a very important house show for them. So, they're advertising the return, so we'll see what happens. Let's go back to the phone line, 457-1065. Let's go to line 4 and talk to Roy from West Milton. You've got the Wrestling Guys.
Yeah, I have some questions.
Go, Roy.
I was wondering if Vader would ever come back to the World Wrestling Federation.
Vader right now is recovering from some injuries over in Japan. He's due to come back last I read, he was going to come back in August, so I don't know if he's back yet or not. But, right now he is very over in Japan. He had an offer to come over from ECW, but they wanted him to put over Taz. This was obviously a while back. And that's really the last time he's had a serious offer from the U.S. I don't know if there's really a place for him right now in the WWF or WCW, but also he is so over right now in Japan. He is making a ton of money over there, much more than he can make right here in the U.S.
Yeah, and I was wondering if Ric Flair would go back to wrestling.
Oh, sure. Ric Flair's recovering from some shoulder surgery. Marty's rubbing off on me tonight. These animal crackers have got me a little bit weirded out. But Ric Flair is rumored to be at Nitro this coming Monday. This is when they're going to have the wedding between David Flair and Miss Hancock. And there's some rumors that the twist in the storyline will be Ric Flair will actually be the father of Miss Hancock's child, which we'll see how that plays out this Monday on Nitro.
Oh, and do you know who would be the #1 contender for The Rock?
#1 contender for The Rock. It looks like what they're going to do going into Unforgiven is have some kind of a fatal four-way with Benoit, The Undertaker, and Kane all wrestling each other for the WWF title.
Yeah.
I don't know which one of those you would call the #1 contender, but that's what we're hearing right now.
What happened to Hulk Hogan?
Hulk Hogan is right now on the sidelines. Of course, the storyline is that he has been discriminated against by Vince Russo, and that he is filing a lawsuit against WCW. Whether or not that's a work or a shoot, nobody really knows for sure. Most of us feel that this is just one elaborate storyline that will eventually come to a head. The one thing we've heard right now is they're kind of holding off on any major storylines until everything gets settled between this entire television deal between MTV and USA and WWF, because whatever the decision is, if the decision is made to let the World Wrestling Federation go to Viacom, it will totally change the landscape of wrestling on television. And so they're kind of sitting back and waiting, which for WCW I don't think is a good idea, but we'll see what happens. Thanks a lot for the call. We appreciate it.
All right.
All right.
Have a good night.
You too, man. Roy, thanks very much. Let's go Bink on line 3. Bink, let's go to line 3. You're on the Wrestling Guys.
Hey, what's up?
Not a lot. Thanks for holding on. What's going on?
Not much. I got a big major announcement.
The Bink has a major announcement.
Yes.
What could this be?
It involves my group.
Now, what is your group? The Cash Money Players?
Yes.
Something like that? Okay.
Yes.
What is the major announcement from the Bink tonight?
Cash Money is over.
Well, Cash Money just got started.
But the business I was talking about last week, as I said I was taking care of business, was that it seems to me that they started to gain little interest into the show, and I don't know why.
So the Bink has disbanded the Cash Money Players. It's no more.
Yes, and besides, I work better alone.
What's going on, Bink? Don't you need somebody with you anymore?
No, I work better alone. I got them over, and this is how they thank me.
You got them over?
Yes.
How did you get them over?
Because if it wasn't for them, they wouldn't know how to.
Whoa!
What's wrong? Bink whining too much for you, Jobber?
Did some of the players call in?
Yeah, he's just a little too whiny tonight. That just doesn't sound good on radio. I can't have that.
But maybe you are one of these former Cash Money players. Maybe
were you
a little heat between you and Bink?
No, not me. I don't want to talk about it. I got to answer a phone line.
Oh, okay. A little controversy there.
I wonder what happened with that.
Well, Bink's gone, so open phone line at 457-1065.
Okay, let's go to line 6, and I may have this wrong, but Gorabus from Park Lane, you've got the Wrestling Guys?
Yeah, Gorabus.
How you doing, man?
To get a birthday shout out. I would have called in earlier, but I just woke up from my nap.
Well, it sounded like you needed it.
Yeah.
Well, is today your birthday?
Yeah.
So happy birthday, Gorabus.
There you go. Happy birthday.
Thanks.
Is that all you wanted?
Well, I had a question.
Okay.
It's are there any plans for the WCW tag title besides being stuck with the most worthless tag team in the world?
Wow, that was a shot, brother.
A little brutal there.
I think that they know they need to do some things with it. It's a weak division, not a lot going on. You get past Chronic, and really it's
but even
Harris
Chronic,
Twins.
I mean, Chronic is just it's one of those teams that have been recycled and repackaged in so many different gimmicks. You go back with Brian Adams, he was, Crush and with Demolition, and he went through his different personas. Yes, Marty, that's an elephant. But, you have the Harris brothers, which they went through so many different gimmick changes, too. And Rey Mysterio Jr. and Juventud Guerrera, the one the one criticism so many people have with them is that they're too small to be seriously considered legitimate opponents for these bigger tag teams. And so certainly the tag team division in WCW needs a little bit of a jump start.
My complaint with Hoovy and Ray isn't that they're too small. It's just that their gimmick is stale. I mean, the Filthy Animals haven't had anything new to say in, like, what, a year?
Yeah, I mean...
Viva la raza!
I don't even go there. You know, we were joking one time. We said we were going to give away WrestleMania tickets, and we had to figure out the most difficult type of contest we could have, and we were going to have somebody decipher what Conan actually says when he comes out to the ring. That would be how we give away the tickets. But I agree with you. The Filthy Animal thing is a little bit stale, and I don't know what you do with those guys. I don't see Rey Mysterio Jr., Hoovy, or Conan over at all. And I don't know how you repackage them.
In my opinion, if you don't do a lightweight division or some other weight class division to have those guys have their own, build their own storylines and their own, interacting with whoever else they would bring in, maybe Candido again if it does happen,
right?
Or people of that nature. You can't continue to put them in there against guys the size of what we have right now. Like he did against Kevin Nash one time. What was that, about a year ago?
Well, the one thing is there comes a point with some of these guys where the best thing they can do for their career wrestling-wise is to make a move. But the problem is you have the World Wrestling Federation, which I don't see a place really for them. ECW would be the best spot for them, and I think Paul would take them, but those guys would have to take a serious pay cut to go down to ECW.
The only tag team they've had as champions that I've actually liked was Vampiro and the Great Muta. And they lost the titles like a day later. And they turned into giant jobbers.
Well, with Vampiro, he is the JCW champion, so you don't know.
Yeah, that's the only title that means anything in WCW besides the
Okay. We'll make sure that they know that.
Yes.
Tell me there's a WCW title that's prestigious besides the Canadian heavyweight title.
Well, the world title still has some prestige to it, I think, but certainly they don't have a TV title anymore. The hardcore belt still. I mean, that's kind of
really nothing.
Nothing. So, I would agree with you.
World title means nothing. I mean, when an actor holds the world title, your title means nothing.
Vince Russo almost walked out with the belt Monday night. Could you imagine the backlash that would have received?
Oh yeah.
Just on our hotline alone, it would have been brutal.
Congratulate Brett, because Brett's made it Canada 9, Greenberg 0.
Hey, we got to get to another call. We appreciate it. Happy birthday to you, man.
Thanks for calling in, man. Happy birthday.
Line 7, we got Woodchuck. You're on the Wrestling Guys.
Hey, guys.
Hey, guy.
How you doing, Chuck?
Doing okay. I have a few things.
Okay.
Okay, when Sabu was in ECW, why did he ever say anything?
Why didn't he ever say anything?
Yeah, I heard him talk once when he was calling out Taz.
Just part of his gimmick.
Yeah, just
add
the
to the mystique, yeah.
Yeah, just the way he is, and he really didn't want to. He did everything by his actions, not by what he said.
Yeah, I thought it was so strange myself. But...
Yep.
When Kane was doing announcing Monday night,
yeah,
I thought he sounded like Undertaker myself.
Well, he is the Undertaker's brother.
Yeah, I know, but
they grew up together, same dad.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, since I don't know if a European champion, what's he gonna do for Scotland?
Well, that's something we should have asked Al, what he'll do for Scotland.
Yeah.
We'll ask him that. We'll try to get you an answer on the hotline.
Okay.
I know that we don't want to give away what's going on, but we do know, I think, what did he say, 7 languages?
Yes, he will be representing Europe well.
Yes, he will. And you're going to see some things coming up very soon, and I'm sure Scotland will be one of them. Probably one of the first.
I better.
Hey, Woodchuck, we appreciate the phone call. Take care of yourself, man.
All right. Hey, let's get to a break, Jobber. When we come back, we got a lot to talk about this last weekend, the weekend coming up. September 16th, the Wrestling Guys show at the Gateway Sports Complex. And on the hotline, the doctor loves Stevie Hayes from OCW. We are
the Wrestling Guys, Buckeye Country 106.5.
When your child comes home with the flu, whom do you call? The doctor, of course. When your child comes home with a toothache, whom do you call? Well, that would be the dentist. How about if your child comes home with a bad report card? The answer is easy. Call the Phonics Game, your prescription for improved reading and spelling skills. The Phonics Game is the reading system disguised as a game. There are no flashcards and no drills. It's simply a fast, fun, and easy way to learn how to read. In fact, you'll see better grades in reading or spelling, or you'll get your money back. That's a promise and a guarantee. So call the Phonics game today and cure those bad report card blues. Call 1-800-531-READ. Call now and receive the comprehension game free with purchase. That's 1-800-531-READ. Call and order your Phonics game today. 1-800-531-READ.
Ladies, now you can look more attractive, beautiful, and young again, guaranteed, without cosmetic surgery, strenuous exercise, or dieting. Announcing Skin & More, the all-natural vitamin-enriched beauty cream that will diminish wrinkles and create a younger-looking complexion in only 30 days. Skin & More contains a new and patented ingredient that's been tested at a major university by doctors associated with NASA, Harvard, and MIT. Skin & More was proven more effective than Retin-A in making skin look younger, and results were shown on national news. In clinical trials, complexions looked 79% younger in only 28 days. The appearance of old age vanished. Now look 10 years younger in only 30 days, or pay nothing. Your youth back or your money back.
For a 30-day risk-free trial and 1 month free, call toll-free 1-888-286-4081. 1-888-286-4081. 1-888-286-4081. This is attorney Doug Mann from Dyer, Garofalo, Mann & Schultz. If you've been in an accident, wrestling with an insurance adjuster can be pretty tricky.
In this one up, innocent victim.
It's his first time in the ring. He looks like he could use some help.
And in this one, the unfair insurance claims adjuster. No case, no pay.
He means business.
I need help. If you've been injured, you need a tiger on your side. Put Dyer, Garofalo, Mann & Schultz in your corner.
Okay, that number's 1-800-INJURED.
Our team of tough, smart attorneys will work hard to get you maximum cash in minimum time. Call 1-800-INJURED today.
I've got the tiger on my side.
Okay, I'll settle the case.
The Dyer, Garofalo, Mann & Schultz Tiger wins again.
Dyer, Garofalo, Mann & Schultz. Put the tiger on your side. Call 1-800-INJURED.
An elegant classic car show, a formal black tie gala. The Concours d'Elegance is back September 10th, benefiting the Boonshoff Museum of Discovery. Call 275-7431.
WBKI, Greenville, Dayton. And welcome back to the Wrestling Guys. Shawn Stidham's, Marty Adams. Man, I got that Stidham's down tonight. And Jobber in the house.
I'll bring my wife and daughter, and it'll be the Marty and the Stidhams. We can do that if you want to.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Hey, we had a lot going on this past weekend. We talked about a little bit. Grand Victoria Casino, HWA, Kevin Nash, Natural Born Thrillers. A great time. A lot of the independent guys in the area. OCW well represented at the show. And if you haven't been to an HWA show, it was a great time. Stevie Hayes, want to thank you and your group for coming down. Saturday and Sunday, Classic Fest 2000, Hickory Hills Lake. If you haven't been to that, it was a great outdoor venue. Kevin Nash, once again, the Thrillers and DDP coming in on Sunday for an appearance. Really just come in and sat out there and mingled with the crowd for 2-3 hours straight. Everybody walking up to them. A great chance to interact with the wrestlers, and those are the type of things that we enjoyed doing. It was an honor for the Wrestling Guys to be involved in both of those functions, and we had a great time.
We had 400 or 500 people Friday night at Grand Vic, 10,000 plus at Classic Fest. A great opportunity for the wrestling for HWA to get out there in front of a big audience. So good time.
Yeah, and a lot of the guys coming out, we appreciate it, and we made sure that everybody that did come out, there was a lot of recognition for a lot of people in the crowd, and we appreciate you guys doing it, and we appreciate what the independent guys do in this area, VCW, OCW, HWA, UCW. I think we'll probably be seeing back sometime October, November time frame. So this is it, the Miami Valley, the hotbed of independent wrestling in the Midwest.
Hey, recap some of the news in case you're just joining us tonight or you missed the beginning of the show. Mike Awesome suffering an injury last night at the Thunder taping, suffering a gash on his hand, required 6 stitches. 6 stitches? Marty, why are you, these animal
Why
crackers?
do you blame it on me? Why are you blaming everything
6
on me?
stitches. The
6 stitches.
gash needed was an inch deep, 2 inches long. Shouldn't miss any time. Goldberg, Evan
Stench
Courageous
me.
got into it Monday right before Nitro. A little scuffle between those two. Goldberg apologized for that.
Yeah, quick choke slam and it's over.
There you go. Stone Cold Steve Austin, he will be on SmackDown this Thursday. He's gonna challenge the person who ran him over with the car to reveal himself or herself this Thursday on SmackDown, or to appear at Unforgiven and face him one-on-one.
You don't think it'll wait till then, do you?
Yes, I do. Let's see what else we got to get to here in the news. Vince Russo possibly having a concussion. He was not at the Thunder tapings last night for that very reason. I don't think a lot of people were upset by that. Rumor is that Hayabusa will be coming into WCW possibly as early as this Monday's Nitro. We'll keep you up to speed on that on the hotline. Let's see, Billy Gunn, Lita, they're going to be on WCW.com tomorrow night on the Bite This program. Francine's upset over the possible women from Survivor getting involved in wrestling. Big deal.
Me too. I'm with you.
Ratings, Raw 4.2, Nitro 3.6.
With a high of 4.8.
Nitro may be switching over from TNT to TBS next year as TNT wants to become the women's network.
Oh, boy.
Hey, like this. September 23rd, AWA Superstars of Wrestling show in Greenville, South Carolina. Main event, Sergeant Slaughter versus the Iron Sheik. How about that for memory?
Yeah. You know what? And the biggest news that Shawn hasn't went over yet,
What's that?
Yokozuna in a Lucha Libre match out in California.
A Lucha Libre card this Saturday during the Anaheim Angels baseball game, and for some reason, Yokozuna will be involved.
You loved it, didn't you?
They promised him he could have 2 luchas for lunch.
Yes.
That's his pay. Booker T, the Band-Aid on his neck, that was because of an ingrown hair. He's okay. He's fine. He's a fighter. Steven Regal did work a dark match before Raw this past Monday. He should debut sometime this month on television.
And I like Al's idea about maybe Steven Regal coming in and being part of that European Championship look.
Could happen. Big 3 shows this weekend. You've got VCW up in Piqua. You've got OCW over in John Bryan Community Center in Yellow Springs. And then you've also got the HWA down in Middletown at the National Guard Armory. Whichever one you want to go to, at least go to one of them and support wrestling in this area.
You got it. And let's get back to the phone lines. These gentlemen have been on hold for quite a while. Line 1 from West Milton, Grimlock. You've got the wrestling guys.
Hi. Yeah, I was wondering, are there any new wrestlers coming into the WWF?
Well, we know Raven is signed. We know Mona's signed. Steven Regal's waiting for to find out what his role is going to be in the company. So, yeah, there's a lot of people that's been signed. You've got the returns of Steve Austin and Billy Gunn. So things are going to be changing in the World Wrestling Federation coming the next few weeks.
Yeah, I was also wondering, do you think Booker T would join WWF?
I don't know. I think he's very happy right now in WCW. He's certainly got a huge push here in the last couple of months. So I don't know what his contract status is. Marty, I don't know if you know anything
I'm not sure about that either. But, right now, just because of the nature of the business, most of those guys, if given the opportunity to go to WWF, would do it. You got Paige, DDP, that's in, I won't say really in a contract dispute, but really in negotiations to either have his contract potentially bought out or see what happens from that point. You have a lot of that going on with some of the other wrestlers that have been released. And you have a I almost said power plant, but you've got OVW that has a tremendous amount of young talent down there waiting to take the step up to the next level.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Yeah, also I heard in, XPW, there's a girl named with the last name Borden. Do you think that's related to Sting?
No, her character's name is Lizzie Borden, which, of course, is a notorious figure throughout history. So it's no relation to Sting there whatsoever.
Yeah. My last question is, when Suicide X caught on, I don't know what happened, but he changed. Now he's going by the name of Angel.
Okay.
What? Oh, yeah. What happened to DDP?
Man, I don't know where that went.
With that?
I don't know what happened with that. Jobber?
He lied about Suicide X. He called in tonight as Suicide X.
Wow.
Jobber's on the case.
That's right.
Well, hey, you got to show respect to the
Did you
Jobber.
Just snort?
I don't know.
What the heck was that?
Must have been one of them little...
Might have been
one of them little animal crackers.
Let me see which ones we got left here.
Oh,
Turtle.
God.
Turtle's still left.
You like that turtle, Marty?
Yeah. And
you like to be in a shell, maybe?
Yes. And the owl, Hoot Owl, is still left. And you know what's neat about the owl?
What's
neat? You liked them. You had a bunch of them. You couldn't keep your hand out of that bag.
You know who you need to leave that? You can leave those with Karen tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Karen would like it. Karen actually called in a little while ago.
Did she?
She misses us.
Does she need us to come in and be her companions?
She may, that way we can talk, or she can talk, and we can give her a massage, and we can talk, and she can talk, and then she can give us a massage, and then we can talk, and then we can go to computerized talking.
And massage in the mornings. That can be the new name for the morning show.
Hey, I kind of
like that idea.
Massage in the morning with Marty, Karen, and Shawn.
We'll do
Shawn.
We'll do
Karen,
live remotes, and we'll just have massages all morning long. On your way to work, you stop by, get a massage, and we'll play
Yeah,
something.
one of them Beverly Hillbilly pickup trucks with a recliner in the back of it. Just sit down and enjoy it.
That would be good.
All right, hey, let's go. Well, who do you want to take here, Shawn? I'm going to let you make this decision.
Oh, okay.
Here's your two people you can choose from, because it's getting late. We're only going to get in a couple more callers. There's one.
Okay.
And there is the other one.
What's the other one?
Oh, my
let's
God.
see.
Is that a tough decision?
We'll flip a coin. Heads number 1.
Should we tell
tails
everybody who's on there?
No, we won't do that. We'll just flip a coin here. Heads number 1, tails number 2. And it's heads. So go to that one.
That one? Yeah. Hey, let's go to line 2 then. Daryl, you've got the wrestling guys.
What's up?
What's up, Darren?
Well, I just got 2 quick questions. First of all, I didn't hear the show earlier, so I don't know if you answered it already. But who, in your opinion, do you feel is going to be the person revealed as that ran over Austin last year?
The what?
Who do you think will be revealed as the person that ran over Austin?
Go ahead.
Who would I like to see, or who do I think it will be?
I mean, well, both, I guess.
I would love to see them do the original idea with The Rock. I don't think they will, but I would love to see that played out. Who do I think it will end up being? I could see it being a very big disappointment and them going to Vince McMahon, which I think would let a lot of people down.
Yeah, I really wouldn't like that, but it's a thought.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Then my other last quick question is, whatever happened to the Spanish Fly?
Spanish Fly, actually, Marty and I got an email from him the other day, and, he's still out there, and he's kind of...
They're in training.
They're in training, and I think the Spanish Fly would like to be a new addition to this show. I don't know if we haven't... We only have 3 mics in the studio, and Jobber has to have one of them. So.
That's right.
We may call him in and have him do a guest spot occasionally.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Hey,
all right, thanks a lot, Daryl. Take care. And what have we got, about 2.5 minutes left?
Winding down here. Go ahead. Let's go ahead and take the other call. What do you think?
Go ahead. Real quick, let's take this other call. What line is that?
Go ahead. Just put us on there. You got it? Hey, you there, Master Ken?
That's right. I'm here.
How you doing, Ken?
Oh, I'm doing fine, and you all?
Doing good. We only got about 2 minutes, so make it quick.
All right. I just have one short question. Who is your favorite tag team, the best tag team you think in the world?
Of all time or right now?
Of all time.
Marty, you answer this first.
I want to... Wait a minute. That's a tough question.
I was a big fan of the British Bulldogs back in the mid-'80s.
God, I was a huge Road Warrior fan.
Road Warriors.
Back in the old days.
Midnight Express, Rock and Roll Express, all those teams, mainly your NWA tag teams, were the ones I was a big fan of. Wyndham and Rotundo, when they first teamed up together. Going back, Ricky Steamboat, Jay Youngblood was another great tag team. One tag team that I was really entertained by when they did team together was Jimmy Snuka and Ricky Steamboat. But, they didn't team up that often, but I always thought they were entertaining. Master Ken, we got to go. Don't forget this weekend, HWA's in Middletown, OCW Yellow Springs, VCW up in Piqua. Have a great time. Go check out some wrestling this weekend.
Hey, it's all happening.
And Marty's doing the hotline tomorrow.
Yes, I am, and you're listening to the Tag Team Champions of Talk Radio, the Wrestling Guys.
Good night.
Ready?
Yeah, we're done.
Good night, Dayton.
Later.
Welcome back to the Wrestling Guys, brought to you by Dyer, Garofalo, Mann, and Schultz. You heard it. They're the accident attorneys, and they'll be on your side 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All you have to do is call 1-800-INJURED, and they have offices literally everywhere.
Put a tiger on your team.
Hey, I love it. Doug Mann and that crew, what great shots they do. That had to be one of the best commercials I've ever seen.
I thought it was great. I see him on a bus daily. Oh, right outside the bus.
What, as you're getting on it?
No, I don't take the bus.
Oh, I didn't know. Hey, let's go to some callers. Line 1 from Dayton. John, you've got the Wrestling Guys.
How you doing?
All right, John, what's happening?
Not much. I was just wondering, on Morale, there was a fan that tried to jump in the ring, and I was wondering, what do they do with them when they do that?
They beat them?
That's basically what they do. They definitely do prosecute. And if you notice, I know Mick Foley started saying something about the fan, and you could hear how he was cut off very quickly. He said something, and then it was almost like JR and Jerry Lawler said, "Hey, don't talk about it."
Because you don't even want to bring it up. You don't want to let people think that they can get away with that, which obviously they can't. I've seen it, and I've been there, and Willie, I'm sure you have too, where actually wrestlers have hurt fans because you don't know what they're crazed if they're coming in there, and consequently they're going to be charged and they're going to jail. And the WWF,
Absolutely.
WCW, ECW, they're going to pursue it all the way.
Absolutely, they're going to take it to the full extent of the law. I highly advise that you don't attempt this.
John, you're not going to jump, are you?
Oh, I would never do that.
All right, man. What else is happening?
Not much.
All right, having a good one? You enjoy the show Monday night?
Yeah, I sure did.
All right, well, thanks for calling.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, let's go to line 2 from Dayton, Ohio. Tim, you've got the wrestling guys.
Yeah, this is Tim Foley.
Hey, Tim.
How you been?
All right, buddy. How about yourself?
Oh, I got 3 questions.
All right.
On WCW, I do like for have some jig dive to turn the flag over, and he said he retired. Is he retired, or what his plan?
Right now, Hacksaw Jim Duggan is not retired. There was a rumor, as the cost-cutting measures were put into place approximately 2 months ago, that Hacksaw had been cut. He really hadn't been. What he was doing was promotional work for WCW. So now they're talking another retirement angle. They're not letting him go. He's went through a series of real serious medical problems and has come back. He is able to work independent shows and has been. He's not going to be an every week performer, but Hacksaw Jim Duggan, as of today, is still a part of WCW.
And I think he's actually really good for the locker room. And the guy's very positive in the locker room, and it's nice to have a veteran of that kind back there. And the guy still, the fans love him.
Hey,
they can't get away. I mean, it's USA. It's like taking me back to the 80s every time he comes out.
You got to love it. He quarters all the different age groups. What else you have, Tim?
Okay. WCW, the wedding. How you explain that we caught Ric Flair and take him out, and the bride go after him? What happened after that?
Well, a lot of people speculating, that the gimmick is that Ric Flair Sr. may end up being portrayed as the father.
That's right, and the letter that Miss Hancock got was the results of the paternity test. However, and this is the problem that I have with Nitro. I said I still have problems with it. How can somebody have a restraining order at a building that he doesn't even own, and that he's not even there?
Well, the storylines were weak, and we're going to agree with you here, Tim. It's hard to explain some of these things. We know what the storyline was supposed to entail, but for it to be believable, it really wasn't.
Okay, and my last question on WWF Taz, after Jim Clean lost, come out and he hit, and Taz said, I'm finished, because you always look me outside. What do you mean Taz said he's finished?
Well, I got one word for you: work. That it's part of the storyline. You would have not seen the response from JR and Jerry Lawler had it not been anything but. And plus, generally, and I'll say generally because of the whole Hulk Hogan thing, that I still think it's a storyline, but a lot of people are saying is not. Anything that you see on TV is storyline.
I know that, but it's kind of like Taz always come out. He works so hard, and you don't know if he's going to jump on Jim Clean jump on him, or he's going to jump on Jim Clean, and they're going to have another dude to come up wrestling again.
I'm sure they will at some point. I just think it's another thing to try to make Taz just a little bit more interesting.
That's it. They're always looking to increase the value of a character, to modify it a little bit, to put a little heat on somebody else and move somebody around. You look at what they're doing with Val Venus right now and some of the other characters. It's really just a modification of what's going on with them.
And was JR the only person in the United States that thought that Val Venus was out there to turn against RTC?
I think so. What did you... It's been crazy lately, but yes, I have to agree with you. Anything else, Tim?
Yeah. And the good Godfather. I like the old Godfather, and I don't like the new Godfather.
Well, a lot of people, that's another vision of repackaging. A A lot of people saying that he wasn't getting the pop that he was initially. The gimmick when he first went to The Godfather was pretty good and went over. You could tell that if you watch the live shows, which I'm sure you do. As things started getting stale, they always look for something else to work. I agree with you. It's not as hot as the old one was, and before you know it, he'll be Papa Shango. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. He'll be Papa Shango.
Yeah, he'll be doing something else.
Papa Shango hit Steve Austin with the car.
Yeah, that's who it is. Papa Shango did it. Hey, Tim, thanks for calling, buddy.
You're welcome. See you another time.
All right,
have a good one, Tim.
Hey, back to the phone lines again. The Middletown Marauder himself, Binkster. You've got the wrestling guys.
Yes, it is me.
It's all good in Middletown, isn't it, Bink?
It's all good for one reason only. Now, I got the opportunity to meet Al Gore and Senator Lieberman.
You did, huh,
Yes.
when they come over to the high school?
Yes, they finally came to my neck of the woods, and we talked a little business and stuff,
Did you tell Lieberman you're a wrestling fan?
basically.
And what did he say?
He didn't really have no comment about that.
Okay.
And you told him that you know the wrestling guys, right?
Basically, yeah.
Okay. Well,
And they knew of us, didn't they not?
did Al Gore have his wrestling guys T-shirt on?
No, he was his normal self.
Well, what's up with that, Bink? You didn't give him one?
Well, I don't have one. You guys didn't supply me with them.
Wait a minute, Bink. Hold on. Let me get this right. Lieberman and Gore are in Middletown, which is nowhere. The Bink is there.
Yes.
Okay. He knows of the wrestling guys. Everybody knows of the wrestling guys, and you don't make sure that while he's giving his speech that he doesn't have a wrestling guy's T-shirt on?
You guys haven't given him
Get him out of here.
If I haven't got one.
I was going to ask if they blew him up.
What's up with that? Bink, we're not going to tolerate that. You look, everybody knows. What?
You are supposed to promote the wrestling guys at every opportunity that you are given.
You know what?
You should be
National
promoting the wrestling
television's
guys.
there. Did he have his wrestling guys banner up?
Probably not.
Did he wear a wrestling guy's T-shirt?
Probably not.
I've
He was
had it.
there only to promote himself.
Yeah, Jobber, nice job. I can't believe you blew him up, though, Jobber.
It felt good.
It felt good.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, let's get out of here. Let's
Jobber's
get a
like our
break
secret.
in.
He's like our secret, our secret service man.
Yes, he is.
I just like using explosives. It's cool.
Hey, let's take a break here. We've got a lot of callers coming on. Les Thatcher coming on. Gary Davis from the WWF, the man behind SmackDown Challenge and SmackDown Your Vote. And you're listening to the Tag Team Champions of Talk Radio, the wrestling guys on Buckeye Country, WBKI. And welcome back to the wrestling guys. Yes, we are the Tag Team Champions of Talk Radio. And the franchise himself in that 20-foot scaffold match this Sunday, he might need Dyer Garofalo,
He
man.
may need. He's going to need a lot more than Dyer Garofalo, man, and Schultz. I think,
Oh, my
after that.
God. Can't wait till this Sunday once again. The pay-per-view, you can see it at Pulsations, Normandy Square Shopping Center. For more information, call 291-9212. The wrestling guys will be there. All the independent guys in the area are there. It's a great time. $5 if you're over 21. Come on in and see the pay-per-view, have munchies, and a little male decadence afterwards.
That's right. And you got to love the male decadence.
I leave for that part, but a lot of people do.
That's right. I know.
I'm not in there.
Why?
Hey, what about last weekend?
That fine Christian upbringing of yours.
That's me.
Yes.
Last weekend, Heartland Wrestling Association in Middletown, VCW in Piqua, great
Right.
show from what I hear. I went to the Ring Review and checked it out. OCW, I was able to get there and see part of that show. Put on another great show for their crowd, and a great party afterwards, I have to say, with the OCW group.
Really? A little partying with the OCW group?
Well, you know, you got to go out and talk about it after the show, a little critiquing, and make sure that everybody can also party afterwards.
I was going to ask you something, though. Did anyone come up and hold your beer?
No.
Okay.
I wasn't
just
drinking
wondering.
beer, that's why.
Oh, okay. That's probably why.
Yeah, that did it. But all the shows, from what we hear, were great shows. And this week, once again, Gateway Sports Park, HWA, and the wrestling guys come back to you again. The last show was kind of an independent showcase. Great show, well attended. We've got a great show planned this week. And some special guests going to be there. I'm not going to go into it, but be there this Saturday night, the 16th. Bell time's 7.
Bell time is 8 o'clock, I believe.
We got the late bell time again. We got to change the bell times back to a little
You think?
earlier. Yeah.
There's been some talk about that. We'll have to ask Les, though, exactly, because, you know.
You think?
Yeah, I think so.
You think?
Yeah.
Hey, what are you hearing about this new team in the HWA, the A team?
The A squad?
Yeah.
I don't know. I hear they have this manager,
Yeah.
Brock Guffman. A lot of people think that I'm Brock Guffman.
You're kidding me. You don't look anything like him.
I don't, because
the guy's a professional sports manager.
You know, and he parts, you know, I part my hair.
Yeah.
You know, his is all slicked back, so I don't know where they're getting that.
Unbelievable.
But,
you know, it's funny how people will somehow think you're somebody else sometimes.
It's true, you know. Like, they must be squinting or something. But, you know.
Hey, there you go. Let's get back to the phone lines again. Let's go to line 4 this time. Lady Greenbucks, you've got the wrestling guys.
Hi, how you doing, Marty?
I'm doing much better now that you called. Once again, you're saving me from calling my 1-900 number.
Oh, once again. Well, see, that gets me out of money.
I know, but there's other ways we can help you. Don't worry.
Oh!
So what's going on, Lady Greenbucks?
Nothing much. What's going on with you?
Well, same old stuff. We seen you at the OCW show. Looked like everybody had a great time there.
Did you have a good time?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And a lot of talent there. And once again, OCW really doing a good job. And UCW's Maniac Mark Mustang there also. And Dr. Creep not there, though, I noticed. Must still be out. I don't know if he's injured or what. Diamond Dave not there. Not seeing the long hair running around. But everybody else in force in the crowd enjoying a great show.
You know, I thought the WCW show Monday was kind of lame.
Really?
What didn't you like about it in particular?
The whole thing of David Flair and Ric Flair, that whole mess is what I call it.
You know, actually, I heard a report that there was boos from the crowd when they set up to go through that a second time. There was actually people in the crowd that were booing that. They were very upset that they had to watch 2 weddings, not just one, but 2.
2?
Yes. Well, you know how they started the wedding, and then they stopped, and then they came back and they started the wedding again. I guess when they were setting up the ring for the second time, the crowd went nuts and was actually booing.
Yeah.
So you were doing that at home, basically?
Yeah.
Sounds like it. She didn't like the show.
No, I didn't.
So did
I
you
like the OCW show.
Well, that's normal. I can understand that. So it's you definitely. What about WWF? Did you like them this week?
Yeah. Yeah, they're okay.
Don't sound so excited about it.
Yeah, I know. I think she got someone on the other line.
Yeah, you think so?
I think that's what it is.
Number ringing there. Where's the husband tonight?
He's at work.
Well, that's a good place for him.
I didn't think he worked though.
Oh, he doesn't.
It's Mr. Greenbucks.
It's Mr. Greenbucks, but you know what he's doing. He's probably just out in California worldwide.
Oh, that's true, and that's considered work. I mean, actually, you know, taking a limo around town, that could be considered work for him too.
Yeah, that is.
So, Marty, I have a question.
Sure, go right ahead.
Since you met me Saturday, what do you think of me?
I really can't talk about that on the radio, but I'd be more than happy to talk about that afterwards.
Well, that's what you said last time, and I tried to call back, and they said you were gone.
Yeah, that jobber, he'll tell you anything. But I'll make sure that we do.
So you want me to call back?
No, I'll call you. Don't worry.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for calling.
Bye.
Bye. Hey,
I just switched in like the Adam Carolla role.
Adam Carolla.
You're like Dr. Drew, and I'm like, you know, we're like on Love Line now.
No, I didn't know what was going on. I said, you know, Mrs. Greenbucks, she's married.
Okay.
I'm married. What, you know.
All right.
You know, she has a 1-900 number. I mean, you know, for psychics, I think it's a 1-900 psychic line.
I got to come on the show more often.
Yes, you do. Hey, back to the phone lines again. Let's go to line 5 this time. Suicide. You've got the wrestling guys.
Hey, guys.
What's up, Suicide?
Yeah, nothing really. I just like to ask you on that, is it a work or shoot with the Austin getting hit by the car? Because how hard he got hit, that looks like a shoot.
I can tell you pretty frankly that was not Austin that got hit by the car.
That wasn't?
No.
Wow.
That was a stunt man. If you notice how the camera pans away after the supposed Steve Austin was struck by the car, it panned away and then came back to Austin laying down on the ground. Yeah, that was a stunt man.
Who do you think hit him?
You know, that's a good question. I think Shawn had it on the hotline that a lot of people think the Big Show. And I think that makes sense.
I think Billy Gunn.
You think Billy Gunn?
I just think it's natural. Steve Austin wants to give Billy Gunn a push. I know a lot of speculation, and maybe we'll talk a little more about that tonight, but Show's names come up, Chunky Butt 2 down in Louisville.
That's right.
I think it was Big Show because he had that title shot, and he probably knew that he'd probably get it after Austin or something happened.
You know who I would like to see it?
It should be Raven.
No, I would like to see it to be Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels. Why would that be?
Because, you know, he's been talking about coming back and doing one more match. Because you have to understand, if they put Austin into a program with Billy Gunn, all it's going to do is basically, it's going, you know, granted, it's going to elevate Billy Gunn, but if they're using this program to get Austin back into shape, then it's not going to make Billy Gunn look all that great.
I don't disagree with you. A lot of talk, because there's been some innuendos dropped. If you go to Shawn Michaels' website, if you listen to what Triple H has had to say in a few cases, a lot of different statements have led you to believe that this could be Shawn Michaels coming back. And those two could work a program without wrestling for a while.
Absolutely.
To get everybody keyed up, and what a match it would be, the return of the Heartbreak Kid.
True. I also like to know, coming up at Unforgiven, what match do you think is going to probably take a show away again? I think it might be that Triple H and Angle, because from with Stephanie and stuff.
I think that has a good shot of being the match. Match, and I still think the Dudleys are going to get thrown in there somehow.
Oh, they got to be.
How would they be thrown in for the Dudley and Angle thing?
Oh, no, I'm talking about the Edge Christian Hardy Boys match. Because there's been talk about them coming up with another gimmick match similar to the TLC match, and I think that they might drop that on Unforgiven.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and about last week, when I said I pedigreed him, I didn't really pedigree him real. I did it on a video game. You guys didn't let me finish.
Okay, well, that's better.
Yeah, I ain't violent. I'm a nice person.
You're a nice person?
Yeah.
Why do you always want us to blow you up then?
I don't know. I need someone to listen to me.
It's an attention-getting thing.
And also,
getting blown up.
That's
what
it.
was with that Grimlock guy saying that I'm turning into some guy called Angel or Angel, whatever?
I don't know, man. Your fan club, they're all working out of your area. What's going on with that?
Well, Grimlock is one of my brothers, but he's one of my crazy ones out there.
Oh, okay. Well, it's good to know that he's one of the crazy brothers.
Sure.
All right. Do you want it, man?
I guess.
Well, ask for it.
Blow me up, guys.
Hey, man, we are customer-oriented. We like keeping our fans happy. That's what we're here for. That's what we strive for. That's why we're the wrestling guys.
That's how we keep them coming back.
You got it. I mean, you got to love it. Hey, he's talking about Unforgiven, and really the cards, a lot of matches still left off, but the Fatal 4-Way, Rock, Kane, Chris Benoit, and The Undertaker. What do you think about that match?
I think that having 4 people involved in a match kind of downplays it a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, I'm getting a little tired of like the 3-ways and the 4-ways.
That's a good point, but who do you think's going to win? Rock going in as champion. Kane, is it the Big Red Machine's opportunity? Chris Benoit, who's really done a great job since coming over from WCW, and the new and improved or unimproved Undertaker.
I would give it to Chris Benoit.
Chris Benoit, I'd like to see that myself. Special guest referee Mick Foley for the no disqualification grudge match. Triple H with Stephanie McMahon Helmsley versus Kurt Angle.
I think this is going to be the time where we are going to see Kurt Angle become the ultimate heel and Triple H become the ultimate face, and Stephanie go off with Kurt Angle.
Hey, well, that doesn't make him a bad guy, does it?
Well, no, it doesn't. I mean, I'd like to be in that position myself.
Yeah, so would I. You're going out on a limb here. This isn't like you, Willie.
I know.
Hey, grudge match, Chris Jericho versus X-Pac?
I would think Chris Jericho, but I'm not a big X-Pac fan.
Yeah, I don't either, and they're really giving him a great push. The other guy that seems to be getting a great push and is in the process of a heel turn, Eddie Guerrero with China versus Rikishi Fatu.
I'm going to have to go with, I think that you're going to watch Eddie and China split on this one,
They're
finally.
saying this could be ugly, too.
It could be ugly.
So what happens? Does he retain the Intercontinental Championship?
No.
Or
No.
does he get the stink face?
I think he's going to get the stink face, and I think actually China's going to inadvertently cause him to lose, and that's going to cause a split.
That'll do it. Tag team title match with Edge and Christian versus the Hardy Boys.
I think it's about time to give the Hardy Boys the belts.
Hey, gotta love it.
Edge and Christian have had them how long? Since WrestleMania?
Well, they didn't want to wrestle anybody.
Well, that's true, too. Yeah, good
But
point.
you got to give the WWF credit. The WWF tag team groupings, the Acolytes, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, Hardy Boys, a fantastic group. I don't care who you match up in that group, you're going to have a tremendous match.
I agree with you.
In a strap match, and hopefully the last strap match, Taz versus Jerry the King Lawler, get rid of this feud, in my opinion. Let Taz get out of there. This isn't helping Taz at all.
It's not helping Taz at all. In fact, every time that Jerry Lawler beats him, it just makes Taz just look that much inferior.
I got to agree with you. Hey, on the line, the missing wrestling guy himself, Shawn Stedham, but we need to take a break. The jobber taking control here.
He didn't hear my forehead comment, did he?
He might have heard it. Well, he did now. He's on hold.
Oh. All right, I'm sorry.
I can't believe you said that again.
I don't know what I was thinking,
Hey,
actually.
you better watch it. You're listening to the Wrestling Guys, the Tag Team Champions of Talk Radio on Buckeye Country, WBKI 106.5. And welcome back to the Wrestling Guys, brought to you by Dyer Garofalo, Mann & Schultz, the accident attorneys, everywhere in the Miami Valley, all across the state of Ohio. 1-800-INJURED, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, free initial consultation. And if you need a Tiger on your team, call Doug Mann right away.
I may need one after we talk to Shawn.
You think so?
Because I will be the innocent victim.
Well, you know what? I'm going to do him a favor. Let's go to the celebrity hotline. I'm going to call him a celebrity. And one half of the Tag Team Champions of Talk Radio that's not here tonight, while we take care of the show, Willie, Shawn Stedham, welcome to the Wrestling Guys.
This is the first time I've missed a show since we made the move, Mr. I've missed 2 shows.
Shawn, when I miss shows, I'm doing live remotes, getting interviews, doing things that you couldn't do.
He is being Jerry Maguire.
That's right. I'm being Jerry Maguire, Arliss.
Arliss Michaels.
That's correct.
Right. Oh, geez.
So obviously, now, are you at the Reds game?
There's a whole story behind that. I'll have to tell you off the air.
There never is an opportunity that Shawn is involved in something that there isn't some other story that needs to be told off the air.
He is shrouded with controversy.
Yes, he is. It must have not been one of your socialite events again.
It's a good one, trust me.
Oh, I just bet it is.
It's a classic one. It'll be a classic one.
Well, obviously, we've got Gary Davis on a little later here, the man in charge of SmackDown Challenge and SmackDown Your Vote. And Les Thatcher we're going to talk to. And well, that's right. You did get the message today, too. 2020, once again, re-showing the Heartland Wrestling Association and Power Plant portion right before Monday Night Football this upcoming Monday.
It's going to be great to see that piece again for anybody that didn't see it the first time. It's done a great job showcasing, exactly what it is that Les does and his training methods and everything else. One other thing, too, you got Gary Davis coming on, I think, right after 8 o'clock. One thing you might want to touch on with him, and I'm sure you guys have already thought of this, is the fact that today and over the last couple of days, we've seen a backlash out of Washington against the violence in the media, violence in the entertainment industry, and certainly anytime that this is brought up, people start pointing fingers at wrestling and specifically the World Wrestling Federation. And, if this continues to happen where we know Joseph Lieberman is a card-carrying member of the PTC, Willie, I think that's your favorite group.
Yeah, it is.
I think that it'll be interesting to see if the World Wrestling Federation continues to stay bipartisan in their campaign.
One of the things, the Bink was on a few minutes ago, your buddy, and had mentioned he had an opportunity while Gore and Lieberman were in Middletown to talk to him and mentioned that to Lieberman that he was a wrestling fan.
What did Lieberman say?
He said he basically said nothing.
Yeah, he really didn't. He didn't. But we blew him up because he didn't give him one of our Wrestling Guys T-shirts to wear.
Oh, that's horrible. You thought at least the Bink would have had a sign. Because there's a lot of different cameras and everything there yesterday, taking photos and video.
The Bink was just there to promote himself. And if he's not out there promoting the Wrestling Guys, then
that's it. We're done with him. We don't have time for that. This is the Wrestling Guys show. If you're not on here and working with us and you're working against us, and he's gone.
Okay.
So that's the way it is. And I know that hurts you, Shawn, because, you guys are close.
Gotcha.
So what? Come on, you're going to share with us what happened?
I can't share the story. I really can't.
Are you even? Did you start to go to the Reds game?
Yes.
Okay. Did you make it?
No.
Okay.
I cannot continue any longer. I'll give you the full detailed report tomorrow.
Okay. Well, do it on the hotline, will you?
I can't even do it on the hotline.
Oh my God!
Wow.
It's that bad.
That bad?
Wow.
Okay, well, inquiring minds want to know, Stedham.
It doesn't have anything to do with Bristol's, does it?
No.
Okay.
Was there a sale on little wrestling guys? At,
He had to veer off. He had to veer off to Trader's
That's what
World.
it was, wasn't it? Trader's World was open on a weekday.
We'll see how that goes, yes. But, yeah. Anyway.
All right.
Thank you very much. And Willie, I missed, what did you say at the top of the program?
I didn't say anything. I said,
go ahead, Willie.
No, I was saying very nice things about him.
Yes, yeah, right.
I said that I could not fill your place here.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what I did.
And I'll leak it to you. I'll let you know. And it wasn't good, but you know what? He did say that, but he said a lot of other things. And a key word in the statements that he made, Shawn, forehead.
But that's just because his cranium is...
I'm just making a statement. Look, we've got a lot of lines lit up. The celebrity hotlines
His
lit up.
cranium is very
Les
big,
Thatcher.
that's all.
All of our lines are lit up. The strobe lights flash. And, Shawn, I wish you could be here to defend yourself. It's obvious that you can't. You're having a lot of problems right now. You're under duress. Let me help you, Shawn. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. That's it. You know what? I've been waiting to do that for so damn long. Finally, you guys did that to me when I was doing a live remote. So I got you back, Stedham. I don't care where you're at. I don't care about the problems you had tonight. That's what happens when you're not here, because I am one half of the tag team champions, and we're going to go to another celebrity, Stedham. Les Thatcher, you've got the wrestling guy and Willie.
The wrestling guy and Willie?
Well, Shawn Stedham used...
Willie Brock, right?
Watch it, Les.
Well, wait, watch it, because you know a lot of people are saying that I'm Brock Duffman, and I have to deny that.
There's a rumor going around he is.
Well, I'd heard that, but I like, I was sitting here thinking that kind of rolls off your Willie Brock. It's kind of like Billy Bob, right, or something. Could be the only Jewish cowboy super sports agent or something.
It could be, but you guys will figure that out.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do, but hey, who knows? A lot of talk about the Heartland Wrestling Association. Les, I don't know if you've seen it, but out of the locker room in WCW, a lot of the boys talking about that they feel the women that are being trained at the power plant and really just being thrown into the ring for the live shows should be sent down to the Heartland Wrestling Association for training, and that hit all the internet services this past week.
You know, if they would like to, I thought some private sessions at my home.
Les,
I'm being a dirty old man. What can I tell you?
You're supposed to be the technical guru.
I tried to be that too, but I got to have fun once in a while. No, I think that would be great. Truthfully, you know my stance on it. I think the girls, the sensuous ladies, are very sensuous until they become clumsy ladies, and then that takes away from their sensuality. And to me personally, I would, until they were ready to do some good stuff in the ring, I would even have them try. But I would like to have them. I think it'd be great to have them here.
Well, it's got to be a kudos to the Heartland Wrestling Association that the boys are saying that. They think they need to get down there. They need to, absorb some more technical skills, but also to get them out in front of a different crowd so that as they are experimenting and working on their skills, it's not in front of a national audience.
Well, you could kind of parallel. You don't want to teach a brand new rookie quarterback how to play your brand of offense in a Super Bowl. And I think that's exactly what's going on now. They're throwing them out there at the highest level, and they're not ready for it. And I would agree with the boys. We have had the last week. I'm just very proud of my kids. The last couple of weeks, we've had some great comments from different people. The WCW guys that worked with us over the Labor Day weekend said that our guys were the best independents they'd ever worked with. Kevin Nash and Dallas Page went back to Atlanta, saying that these kids, in fact, Kevin had said to Ray Steele, he said, "I'm going to see you up there in a few months." He said, "You're going to make it, kid." So I'm just proud of these guys. I think they've busted their hump, and that's what it's all about, guys. It's not staying at this level. This is the minor leagues. It's working your butt off and making it to the top, and I think these kids are going to get there.
Well, a lot of good talent across the Miami Valley. We've talked about it, hotbed for independent wrestling. The HWA, you got OCW up here, you've got VCW, which is really a crossbred of a lot of different organizations. UCW, while not running right now, have been a Dayton, it's been in the Dayton area for years. But HWA, especially with some of the shows we just did in Fort Laramie at Classic Fest 2000 and our ongoing work with the Grand Victoria Casino, really has given a lot of kids an opportunity to showcase their talents.
You're absolutely right. Something that's happened out of this all, too, guys, is we're getting a lot of kids with 2 and 3 years of independent experience wanting to come in here basically to do postgraduate work. We've got 2 young men from New Jersey coming in this weekend just, to check us out. This week alone, I've talked to a couple kids from out of Texas, one out of Virginia, who, are looking to take that next step. And I guess, figuring we're the guys to give them that postgraduate push, and I hope that we are. Along those lines, I don't know if you've mentioned it yet or not, our ABC 2020 segment is going to air again this next Monday night.
Yeah, we talked about that. And I think that's great that, if anyone hasn't had a chance to see that piece, they really need to turn in.
Yeah. I think...
Of course, I don't know how anyone would skip the first hour of Nitro, but, that's a whole other story.
Something I want to talk about that Heartland Wrestling has as well, and we have, as far as I'm concerned, the 2 best damn managers in the independent ranks. If 38D Cups ever go by the wayside in the big leagues again and managers come back, these 2 guys should be going there. That would be GQ Masters III and Brock Guthman.
Well, no doubt about it, but, Les, let's hope that 38s don't go by the wayside. Don't get me wrong, I love GQ and Brock, but, I just kind of like the 38 thing, brother.
I think Brock can wear about a 36, though.
Yeah,
that's what I heard.
Well, maybe even better than that. Brock's growing. No, I really do. I think we've got a good crew of kids. There's no doubt about it, and the 2 managers are top flight. In fact, none other than J.J. Dillon mentioned that same thing to me. He was up at Classic Fest, and J.J. was, of course, most of the fans wouldn't know, was my tag team partner a million years ago, but more importantly, the mouthpiece and manager of the 4 Horsemen.
Absolutely.
So there's one big league manager who would know what he's talking about, and he thought both of our guys were exceptional. So, and they both did an outstanding job on the big stage up at Classic Fest, too.
Yeah, it was kind of nice, and a lot more going on in that area. We hope to return there very, very soon, but just a lot going on. Tell me about the one kid. Now, I'm being told, and I got some of the information, obviously, because I've been down there lately, a catcher from either the Montreal Expos organization and used to be in the Detroit Tigers organization, their minor league season just ended. He's in there and is practicing to become a wrestler.
Yes, Derek Newkirk. He's from Dayton originally. Has a home in Phoenix now, Scottsdale, Arizona, actually, outside of Phoenix. Was drafted by the Detroit Tigers originally, and played up in the majors with Detroit and with the White Sox, and was this last season with the Toronto Blue Jays farm system. But yeah, he's about 6'4", right now about 230. Plans to go up to about 255. And actually, he was looked at. He went to a short 4-day camp with Dr. Tommy Pritchard and Dory Funk about 18 months ago, and they, thought he was a quick learner and told him he was interested to get back to him. So he contacted Doc when he decided that baseball was probably out of the question, and he wanted to try to pursue the wrestling. So Doc said, "Well, go get you a good foundation from Les and get back to us." So he's moved back into the area and is in here training with us, and he's a good athlete, and he is a quick learner. He gets the size on him. I think we've got a keeper there too.
Well, that's great to hear. Les, I don't want to cut you short, but I know there's an open house coming up in October for the new HWA headquarters.
Right.
6,000 square foot, state-of-the-art, 2 rings set up, audio-video room, promotions area. Just a lot going on down there in Cincinnati, and we enjoy that a lot happening, and with some of the exposure, hopefully some of the other independents will all work together here soon.
Yeah, we'd like that. I think that'd be great. And of course, we will be in the Dayton area this weekend.
You got it on the 16th, Gateway Sports Park, HWA coming. We're going to do some special things that night. Great card. Ring review will be there. We're looking for that to be maybe one of the first TV tapings for the Dayton area. We're not going to let loose all the information about our TV work yet, but this should be one of the first tapings live for Dayton TV.
Yes, sir. A lot of good things going on, you're right. And, of course, the wrestling guys are going on.
Hey, that's it. We have a great time, and I'd like to have you back on soon, but we need to get to a break. And once again, thanks for talking with us, Les.
All right, guys, thanks for having me on.
All right, take care, Les.
Talk to you soon.
Hey, Les Thatcher, Heartland Wrestling Association. As we talked about, the Miami Valley, the hotbed of professional wrestling, especially at the independent level. And right now we need to go to a break, and you're listening to the Wrestling Guys on Buckeye Country, WBKI. On to lay to yourself, brother, and welcome back to the Wrestling Guys. Willie F. in the house tonight. Shawn Stedham missing in action. There's always a story when Shawn's missing, and we don't know what it is. Maybe we'll leak it on the Wrestling Guys hotline, updated 24 hours a day. Well, updated a lot. Not 24 hours a day, but it's available 24 hours a day.
It is available 24 hours a day.
Yes.
365 days a year.
Yes, it is. And you can hear Willie F. on it during the weekends, but you can call 285-0991. One of the best hotlines in the country if you look for all the national news. And I want to take this moment to thank B.J. Bethel. The Wrestling Guys radio show, probably right now rated one of the hottest wrestling shows in the country. National exposure on every major internet service in the country. That's OneWrestling.com, TWNP News, Scoops, Pro Wrestling Torch, Pro Wrestling Observer. Everybody picking up what's going on with the Wrestling Guys right here in the Midwest. And if it's happening in wrestling, it happens right here at Buckeye Country 106.5.
Absolutely. B.J. Bethel doing an outstanding job promoting the show, and our thanks out to him for doing that.
Hey, we've had these guys on hold for quite a while. Let's get to the phone lines again. Line 7 from Centerville, Mr. Biggs. You've got the Wrestling Guys.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. How's it going, Mr. Biggs?
Good. One question about the ladies of the WWF. Once Lita makes her rounds through Jacqueline and Ivory and anyone else that they can find that would wrestle her, where do you see her going? I mean, what kind of storyline would they do for the Women's Championship?
I'm just glad you clarified what you meant by making the rounds.
Yeah, I was too. I was about ready to go get a ticket.
Yeah. I'm like, where's my number?
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there are so many places. She's very talented. I think she can end up almost anywhere. You see that's kind of been the push anymore, to put a hot valet or something of that nature with somebody that maybe needs to get over a little more. And the women's division just seems to be growing and growing in the WWF.
I think ultimately you'd have to put her up against Chyna at some point. Now Mona, of course, is in the WWF now.
Mona Lita.
Yeah, and she's not made an appearance on TV yet. I would say that you would also have that, because Mona is supposedly is supposed to have a lot more skills than what she did before. I mean, she had some, but those are supposed to be increased now.
Well, it seems like a nice acquisition. We've joked about it for the past several weeks since we heard that Mona was going to be signed to Mona Lita, but I think that's a natural transition in when she comes in.
What do you think they're going to do with Deborah when she gets back on TV?
Harness them puppies, brother. That's what they're going to do with her.
She hit Steve with the car.
Is it? You know what? That could be it. That is a new one.
How about that?
I mean, everybody knows that Steve Austin and Deborah have been together. The reason that Deborah hasn't been on national television is because taking care of her man.
Absolutely.
And right where she should be. And I really think that Deborah can be involved in anything she wants to. She brings good charisma, a great set of puppies, and really...
Yeah, the puppies have been chowing.
They have been, or they've been chowed.
That's true.
So I'm not sure where, but she'll fit in. Right. We were thinking about, what if they brought Mongo back for the car?
That would work.
I would never watch wrestling again.
I don't think you could actually get in the ring again, but it would work.
I'm going to say that right now. I will never watch wrestling again.
If it's Mongo?
If it's Mongo.
Mongo McMichaels, all-star, all-pro, Chicago Bears. You wouldn't want to see. You wouldn't want to see him again.
No, and don't even put him in the Four Horsemen, please.
Oh, I agree. That was terrible.
Hey, real quick, guys. When I was on the air last week, I had mentioned something about my chocolate store. Was going to be sending you some
That's right. We didn't get them.
Hey, I delivered it. The receptionist got it at 4:30, so it's in a big gold bag down there. You might want to send someone down.
Jobber? Did you hear that?
There's some chocolate waiting for you.
Hey, all right, we're going to go down. Listen.
I'll be down in a minute.
Hey, let's go die the chocolates, Jobber.
He'll be down in a minute, but he won't be back up for about an hour.
Yeah, that'll be it. He'll come up with an empty gold bag and then blame it on the receptionist.
Right.
What'd she look like, by the way?
Gosh, I don't know. She had big hair.
Big hair receptionist. Well, that's what we'll do. We'll put something down there for big hair.
She was wearing, I think, a baseball jersey.
A wrestling guy's baseball jersey.
Yeah, it probably was.
Yeah.
She's one of our fans, Groupie.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, we appreciate you calling in, man, and we'll make sure you get a shout-out here.
Hey, great, thanks.
All right, Biggs, take her easy.
All right, bye.
Let's take one more call. We're trying to get Gary Davis from the WWF on the line. But from Ludlow Falls, Hellraiser, you've got the Wrestling Guys.
Yeah, you think there's any chance for Roddy Piper to ever come back?
I doubt it. I don't think Roddy Piper really has a lot to offer anymore. Unfortunately, I don't think that Roddy Piper would ever be would want to take just a speaking role with the company. I think he would actually want to wrestle. And I think, unfortunately, I was a huge Roddy Piper fan. Let me say that. I don't think that Roddy Piper has what it takes to get in the ring anymore, and I don't think that he would want to do anything else but that.
In my opinion, they should have left him off the last 2 times Roddy Piper came back. Great in-ring persona, done a great job over the years, but it just a classic case of a guy that should have got the hell out of there and didn't do it.
I agree with you 100%.
Even though I have a feeling you don't think so, Hellraiser.
Not really.
You're a Roddy Piper fan?
Yeah.
Hey, man, that's what makes it go around. You never know. I mean, you never say no, because Terry Funk continues to come back. Called him today. He's in England promoting the Beyond the Mat video.
Really?
Is making, it comes out.
Yeah.
And they took him there for a promotional tour in England.
I did read something about that, about him and Barry Blonstein on the radio station.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to his wife, and so I mean, guys continue to come back. I don't see where there's a spot right now. The same thing can be said, and I won't say as much, but our Macho Man, he's kind of sitting back in the wings. Yep. Nobody knows what's going on. Hulk Hogan, is his time up? There's a changing of the guard going on right now.
A big changing of the guard, and as I said, hopefully. It's the same thing that I feel about Ric Flair, too. I think that Ric Flair, overall, the best wrestling performer ever. However, at the same time, I don't want to see Rick back in the ring. And that's just my personal feeling on it, because every time I think that it takes away a little bit of the whole era that was Ric Flair.
Yeah. And I have another question. Do you know who The Rock's number 1 contender shot person is?
Yeah, there's 3 others. It's Kane, Undertaker, and Chris Benoit.
Oh yeah, 'cause I didn't get to watch Raw.
Yeah, that's what happened.
The Fatal 4-Way coming,
Fatal
brother.
4-Way.
Yeah. Because I hope the Undertaker wins.
Well, that's what we were talking about. So you're going to vote for the Undertaker on the Fatal 4-Way then?
Yeah, guys deserve he should have the belt.
Well, it's a new gimmick. You never know. A lot of people pushing for Chris Benoit.
Chris Benoit. That's what I said.
Since he's made the change, I think WWF has done a lot with the persona of Chris Benoit. And Kane, the Big Red Machine, a perennial favorite, especially in the Cincinnati area where you have the real Big Red Machine. Or maybe he's the real Big Red Machine. I'm not sure.
I think Kane's the real Big Red Machine right now.
He's bad.
Actually, you know what? And actually, Kane costs a lot less.
You think?
I think so.
Okay. But that's what it is. The Fatal 4-Way going to be a great pay-per-view.
Do you know if Raven is going to come to WWF?
There was actually a lot of talk about Raven being in the corner of Kane and actually being the one that was teaching Kane how to speak, because they were talking a lot about, hey, Kane's starting to talk now. What's going on? Someone must have taught him how to speak. And now I heard that was going to be Raven. Now, I don't know if those plans have changed or not, but that's the last that I'd heard about what Raven was going to do.
Yeah, Raven definitely going to be put into some type of persona. Nothing has been etched in granite yet. I think they're doing just what they've done with everybody else that has come over from one or the other federation, and waiting for the right time and looking for that right gimmick to really make an impact when they make their entrance.
Yeah. And that's all the questions I can think of.
All right, buddy. Hey, we appreciate you calling.
Thanks for calling.
Have a good night.
All right, you too. Hey, let's take a moment, change gears here, and we want to go back to the Celebrity Hotline, because we're going to talk with the man that's in charge of the SmackDown Challenge. SmackDown Your Vote, and really involved in so many things that are mainstream right now. Gary Davis of the WWF, you've got the wrestling guys.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Good, Gary. How are you?
Doing great.
Well, Gary, I know you've been talking to Shawn Stedham. Shawn missing in action tonight. My name's Marty Adams. This is Willie with us.
Hey, guys.
And Willie's sitting in, but you are in a hotbed. A lot of news, and Jesse Ventura just agreeing to participate in the SmackDown Challenge.
Yeah, that was great that Governor Ventura would come forward and say that if Bush and Gore will show, so will he, to moderate their discussion.
I was going to ask, what kind of feedback have you gotten from both the candidates? We really haven't heard, from any news source, what kind of feedback you've got back from both Bush and Gore.
Well, we got initial confirmation that they were considering the invitation. at that point when we issued it, there was still a lot of issues surrounding the formal presidential debates. There have been other people who have issued invitations as well for the candidates to appear. But we're optimistic that they will ultimately see the value of coming on SmackDown. For those of you who saw the show Monday night, you saw that we're stepping up a little bit in talking about the challenge. Our fans are making comments that are airing on the show as to why they think the candidates should appear, why it's important for youth that they appear and directly speak to youth using SmackDown as the forum. So I think you're going to see that there's going to be a lot more discussion about this, and I think as the candidates see a growing interest but on the part of our fans and on the youth of America for them to appear, I think that's going to help to persuade them that it makes a lot of sense to appear together on SmackDown to talk to the youth of America.
Absolutely, because I think that actually both candidates have to realize the demographic that SmackDown reaches, and it's a demographic that both candidates have said that they are having a hard time reaching. So I think this is a perfect opportunity for them, and it's a perfect opportunity for the World Wrestling Federation.
It's great, and again, one of the reasons we got into the voter registration program was because we felt that we had a connection to our younger fans, and that it would be great to try and get them to feel that the political system might be something they should look at and get involved with. But up until our involvement, a lot of the fans felt that there was no point. They just had no connection, and hopefully we're providing that bridge to get them connected into the political process, because The Rock put it best, whether you're a millionaire or not, your vote counts the same in the voting booth.
Gary, and you think about that, you talk to young kids today, and you talk to them about registering to vote, things of that nature, and they feel exactly the way that you just said. Why? There are millions and millions of people voting. What's my one vote going to do? Why? What type of impact do I have? And the demographics, even though we know it's a little younger, but this is the time that you start getting people involved in politics, the 12 to 34-year-old age group. That's a SmackDown audience, and that's the audience that our politicians really haven't been able to get.
And that's a great point, because while we're focused on the people who can vote in this election, appearing on SmackDown does extend them into talking to future voters. And what a great way to say, hey, in a few years I'm going to be able to vote. Maybe this is something I should look into and I should be interested in. And for these younger kids who have brothers and sisters who are voting for the first time, they actually see them vote, and they come back and say, hey, I felt good about that, and I feel my vote, did make a difference in electing the next president of the United States. That sends a positive message. And how else do you break the cycle of indifference and feeling disenfranchised until you take that step? And for the candidates to really make that connection in this election, they need to do something different. And what could be more different than appearing on SmackDown?
Absolutely. And Gary, a lot this week and a lot last week has been focusing on in Washington about violence on television, violence in the entertainment business. Do you think that any of that is going to skewer is going to take away from getting the candidates to be able to come on SmackDown?
It'll be interesting to see if that does play some role in their decision making. I think that it's really something that we have to address, and I think we've been doing a good job with that. I think a lot of people are surprised that, number one, the WWF even got involved in something like a voter registration drive. I think a lot of people initially were, what's this SmackDown Challenge stuff, but anybody who saw the news conference saw that we have some very talented professionals who are real people who really care about this issue and are willing to talk about it, and they sound reasonable when they talk about it. You listen to Linda McMahon talk about it. She is totally committed. Vince McMahon is committed. So I think the campaigns are realizing that this is not something that's a gimmick. It's real. We're serious about it, and we want them to seriously entertain coming on the show. So I think the more and more people start to see the difference between the product on television, where we're very happy to be the bad boys of television, and our fans are happy that we are, versus who the company behind the television product is. And the company behind the television product is, as our fans know, a company that really is a good corporate citizen, wants to be responsible, wants to give back to the communities, give back to the fans who so loyally support us. And so our fans know this, but it's the rest of the world.
Absolutely.
And I think people are starting to clue in now that, hey, the product is one thing, and the company behind the product is another thing.
Right, because actually, I mean, most people would actually think that most wrestling fans couldn't even vote, let alone spell vote at this point. So I think that you guys are doing a great service and actually showing the numbers that you guys are being able to generate. Do you have, like, the latest figures as far as that goes? I mean, the last ones we have is what, Marty?
We've got 40,000 new voters in the SmackDown Your Vote campaign.
Yeah, we're more than 60,000. We are rapidly approaching 70, and I think based on some of the promotion that people saw on the program, that we're going to have numbers well beyond that by next week. We're on track to have over 100,000 new voters in place in less than 2 months, and that's a tremendous pace.
That's phenomenal. One other thing that we're being told is you have close to 10,000, maybe more by this time, that have signed an online petition started only a week or maybe a little over a week ago, asking that the candidates accept the SmackDown Challenge.
Yeah, we're up to around 15,000 people who have signed that petition. We know that in order for the candidates to really take this seriously, we've got to get those numbers up. We've got to impress them that our fans really want them to do this. We got a nice response from the promotion that came out from our announcers in the show from Raw. And anybody listening out there, get on that computer, WWFvote.com, while you listen to the wrestling guys, and let your voice be heard. Sign that petition. The more signatures we get, we're going to be in Washington in early October, and we'd love nothing more than to have some of our talent up on the steps of the Capitol saying, America demands you appear on SmackDown, candidates.
And I like it.
Our fans can make that happen.
Gary, one other thing. One of the things that I'm seeing tied into Minnesota Governor Jesse Ventura agreeing to participate or moderate the SmackDown Challenge is that he has asked that WWF would consider inviting third-party candidates to participate. Your thoughts on that?
We are considering that request. We've had a candidate approach us about that, and we're open to that. It's just a matter of how do we make it work, and how do we make it work in a way that keeps the fans interested. So it's just a matter of working through all these things and seeing how things lie out. So it's an ongoing process, and I think the key is to get the two major candidates in, and the third-party candidates we're looking at as well. We have a lot of respect for Governor Ventura, and we're taking that request very seriously. We deeply appreciate his participation in the SmackDown Challenge, because I think that certainly is something that is making both candidates think seriously about doing it, because he has lent his presence to this effort.
Well, they're probably scared that he's going to, beat him up or something.
Yeah, the body. He's
absolutely
the body. Still the body.
Actually, I have a question about. Do you have any a preliminary on how exactly this debate would evolve? I mean, I'm guessing you're not going to have it in front of 20,000 or so WWF fans all holding up signs and things. I mean, do you have sort of kind of like a guideline of how you're going to go about with the debate? I mean, if and when it does happen.
We're open to the format. The general format is that Bush and Gore will appear live at a SmackDown event. They will be given 5 minutes each to directly address the youth of America as well as the fans, WWF fans, and that will be done live at the event. And Governor Ventura will be the moderator. Exactly how he will interact with the candidates is something that's open. And then we've also thrown out that if they want to show their good sports and want to have a little fun, maybe they can do a quick arm wrestling contest right after the right. But we've stressed to them that, look, that's something that's up to you. We really care about you coming and talking to our fans, talking to the youth of America. That's the number one reason.
Absolutely.
And I'll tell you, we have a lot of faith in our fans. I think if the candidates come to the event, our fans will be respectful. Our fans will treat the event as it's meant to be treated. It's not part of the show. It's not part of the storyline.
Just make sure Midian is locked up somewhere. Can you do that?
Yeah,
I think Midian needs to be in a locked room.
No, he's all right.
Are you sure?
Sure, I think he'd add a little color to it.
Well, again, you never know what's going to happen with WWF, but I think during the candidates' remarks that you'd find that we would try to keep all eyes and focus on what they're saying.
Absolutely, and I agree that that's the way it needs to be done.
You know, Gary, a lot of people that have not attended wrestling matches have this wild thought of what goes on. Once they attend, they find out that really the demographics of people that attend live matches, and we have a lot of sponsors and different things for our radio show. There are lawyers, there are doctors, it's so mainstream anymore. The old days of you know, just seeing somebody there that wanted to throw beer at other people or curse or do things of that nature, it's changed dramatically over the past several years.
It is, and I think now you come to a WWF event, you see that you have grandparents, parents, grandkids with their grandparents, kids with their parents. It's become a family event. As a parent, you have to make a conscious decision that this is appropriate entertainment for your family. A lot of our fans have made that conscious decision, and they come and have a great time. And I think it's probably one of the few live events you go to where you feel as a family that you're not going to have somebody dumping beer on you. You're not going to get a lot of lewd and crude language. I mean, you always have some people who are going to do that, but you know, it's probably better than going to a pro football game
Absolutely.
or a pro baseball game. And you know, our fans, I think by and large, our fans are respectful. They're people who just want to go out and let their hair down, so to speak, and have a good time. And that's the only reason they're there. And they whoop it up, have a great time, and then they go home back to their lives. Pressure's been lifted. They had a little release, a little bit of fun, and then they go back to being the responsible citizens that they are.
Hey, let's change gears just for a second and not really changing them that much. One of the things we also talked about, and we haven't talked about in depth right now, though, is that WWF has also joined forces with Youth Vote 2000, MTV's Choose or Lose, and the Project Vote Smart, really to get more kids involved in voting.
It was great to have a partnership with those organizations. We would not be as successful with this voter registration drive if we did not have these groups working with us. It's truly a team effort. We're all out there trying to register people to vote, and all of these efforts under the Smackdown Your Vote banner are paying off. And we're very pleased that we could do some things that would highlight Youth Vote 2000 and Project Vote Smart in particular. They're both excellent not-for-profit organizations.
But and nonpartisan.
Nonpartisan, driven by young people who are just committed to trying to get young people engaged in the political process.
It's a great endeavor. I mean, a lot of people laughed initially, The Rock, you know, being there. But I think this thing has really taken on a whole new flavor. I think the seriousness of what's going on in our country, coupled with a lot of concern about our youth and our youth being involved in what's going on, it's a natural time for the WWF and anybody else in this world to start taking a little more involvement in what happens.
I think it's tremendous for our talent as well, because you see somebody like The Rock who comes to the Republican convention. They're not sure what to expect and what do they find, but someone who's just a great entertainer, a great human being, and someone who's extremely thoughtful and trying to, when he has the time, to do good things, either entertaining the fans or out giving back to his community. And I think you find the same thing with China. All our superstars, I think, have really shown America that they are truly entertainers. They are people with intelligence, with depth, and that's not the stereotype of the performers in the WWF, which is truly unfortunate. I think a lot of people undervalue what these performers give and what they do day in and day out to make the WWF programming as successful as it is and as entertaining as it is.
Well, we know as well as you do that a lot of the entertainers and performers of the WWF and other wrestling federations are very much educated, very articulate, college educated. Some of them have master's degrees, and really are dedicated professional athletes that really have maybe modified their careers to take it to a little different level in the entertainment field.
And that's it. I mean, it is truly entertainment. There's no, there's great athleticism in our shows, no doubt about it, but it's really entertainment. We're a great action-adventure soap opera, and we provide our fans a lot of thrills and chills and laughs.
I agree with you 100%. I couldn't even said that better.
Yeah, well, Gary, I'll tell you what, we're going to do what we can. The wrestling guys, we've been getting a lot of mainstream media coverage. We're going to be jumping on the bandwagon, not that we all haven't, but we're going to try to add people to the petitions and to the voter drive. And when this thing all comes down, Shawn, myself, and if we can get Willie with us, we want to be there and be able to cover it, maybe do something live for the Midwest listeners of the Wrestling Guys.
Yeah, that would be great. We'd love to have you guys involved. It's shows like yours that get keep our fans connected. And, we have a great opportunity to do a grassroots movement that can have an impact on the political process and have some fun while we do it.
Absolutely.
And all the help you guys give us is greatly appreciated, and all the support of the fans is greatly appreciated.
Well, Gary, we thank you. We know your day is a busy one, and we had like several numbers to track you down, the office, the cell phone, the home, and we both acknowledge how hard it is, and keep up the good work, and we look to hear from you again as this thing keeps moving along.
Great, guys. We'll do that, and thanks for having me on the show.
Okay.
Thank you, Gary.
And sign the petition.
Hey, you got it. We'll be talking about it every week, buddy.
Great, thanks.
All right. Gary Davis of the WWF and, the man behind SmackDown Challenge and SmackDown Your Vote, along with the McMahon family. And we've got to get to a break. It's been a good interview. But right now, the Tag Team Champions of Talk Radio are out here for a few seconds. Stay tuned because we got a lot more coming on the Wrestling Guys, WBKI Buckeye Country 106.5.
For people who want to lose weight and keep it off, listen closely. Introducing Thermogenex, the new revolutionary weight loss system that's sweeping across.
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot.